Checking in with my Walking in the Light tribe. You know, I want to talk this morning about a very common theme that I'm hearing so much from my sisters that I'm coaching and counseling and crying and praying with. And I even have to work on it myself. I've gotten so much better. But this thing of not being able to say no to people, and it's hard to say no when it's your husband, it's your wife, it's your mom, it's your child, and you know that they are bringing toxicity and conflict and drama and draining your finances and draining your peace. I know it's a process. I know it's hard to say no to your child. It's hard to say no to your loved ones. It's hard when you think you're disrespecting your mom or your dad, or you feel like you may lose your marriage if you finally draw a line in the sand and you say no more. Enough is enough. I know it's hard. And when I teach the ladies in my tribe about how no is a complete sentence, I know they get it intellectually, but it's getting it in your heart, realizing that there's power in your words and there's power in you beginning to reclaim your power. Understand that there will be people that will punk us and pimp us and manipulate us. Come on, somebody. There are people, if you allow them, they will manipulate you, punk you, pimp you, use you, abuse you. As women, I think we've been so socialized to be the nurturer, to just be a ride or die, to just, when you are being drained, when you are being put in a fire, in a storm. And you know, some people create their own storms and then they wonder why it's raining. They create their own storms and then they're complaining and they're like, why is it raining? And they want to play the victim role all their lives. And I'm here to say to you that it is so important you begin to implement these habits and practices of saying no to drama, no to the pain, no to the abuse, no to the conflict, no, and walk away. You know, when I go to some of these modern bathrooms, like in airports and hotels, you know, for sanitary reasons, they got these high-tech toilets. You don't even have to touch the toilet. All you have to do is leave your mess and walk away, and it automatically flushes. And sometimes you just have to walk away. Don't touch the mess anymore. Just walk away. Now, I may not say that you will have to walk away from a marriage or walk away from your parents, but I'm just saying walk away when you recognize you're about to walk into a landmine, you're about to walk into some conflict, walk into some drama. Just walk away. Sometimes we think we have to do so much, and you know what? You don't. Just walk away. Just walk away. You don't deserve to have the conflict. You don't deserve to be abused. You don't deserve to be used up like that. But when you know it's your family and you are connected, you got to find some strategies, honey. You got to find some strategies. You got to find some courage. You got to find some support. You got to find some heart. You got to find some self-worth and self-esteem to draw the line, to say no more. That's enough. I can't do this anymore. But I'm just working with so many women who've got family members on drugs, and family members that are have mental illness, and family members who are stealing from them, and family members who are manipulating them. And they come to me and they cry, Jewel, I don't know what to do, because that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my daughter, that's my son, that's my mom, that's my dad, that's my husband, that's my wife. And I'm saying to you, how much longer do you want to keep putting yourself in harm's way? How much longer do you want to walk around broke and resentful and sick? It's up to you. It's up to you. And I know it's not going to happen overnight. It is a process. And step by step, this is why our foundational theme for my ministry is to walk by faith and not by sight. You know, God's not going to give you the details. It's all about trusting God. I love Sade's song. I sing Sade's song all the time. It's all about faith and it's all about trust. It's all about faith and it's all about trust. Faith is believing and trust is action. If you really trust, you'll move. Faith is what I believe, but trust is when I walk and I move and I take action. You know, when I fly on airplanes, I just laugh at myself sometimes. I'll get on the plane. I just got off the plane, flying to South Carolina and Michigan. And I'll get on a plane next week to fly to Northern California. I never go and knock on the door and ask the pilot for his credentials. I don't know his name. I don't know if it's a man or woman. I don't know how old they are. I don't know if that pilot just had an argument, if he's drank some alcohol and he's high. I don't know if he had a bad day. I don't know if he's got a migraine. I don't know if he just left some drama in his family. But I get on that plane. Do you hear me? I get on that plane and I fasten my seatbelt and I close my eyes and I trust that I'm going to reach my destination. And I believe that's what faith and trust in God is. We just got to fasten our seatbelt and go for the ride. And sometimes when I'm on that airplane, it's bumpy. Sometimes it's cold in there. Sometimes I'm sitting next to people that I don't want to sit next to. Sometimes I'm sitting in an aisle all by myself. Sometimes in life, you're going to be by yourself. And sometimes you'll be sitting next to people at your job, in your family, in your church, that you wish I wasn't sitting next to. But you know what? It's all temporary. It's all temporary. And you know what I do? There are times when I'm flying, I'll pay for an upgrade. Like, you know what? I don't want to have the stress. I don't want to wait in line. So when I go on Southwest, I pay for an upgrade. And to me, when you have faith in God, it's an upgrade. Hallelujah. It's an upgrade. When you trust God and you say, you know what, God? I don't want to be with everybody else. I don't want to just be out there fussing and complaining. The line is too long and waiting and waiting. Lord, I want to upgrade. Somebody say upgrade this morning. You know, I use that metaphor for myself that I got to trust God. I just got to sit down sometimes and stop worrying and stop complaining and just sit down and fasten my emotional seatbelt and go for the ride and trust that I'll reach my destination. Are you going to ask God for an upgrade? That means you got to pay for it. I pay for the upgrade. What will you do to pay for your upgrade in life? What investment will you make in yourself? What books are you reading? What service are you rendering? What sacrifices are you making? What investments are you making in your life so that God can give you an upgrade? But the thing is, once you get that upgrade, or even if you're in the back of the plane and you're waiting for your Boaz and you're waiting for promotion and you're waiting for the house and you're waiting for your ministry and you're waiting for your business, you still have to trust God. You still got to sit down and fasten your seatbelt and just close your eyes. It's just amazing to me when I get on the plane. I never interview the pilot. I just trust. And you know what? You may not like where you're going. You may not like the destination. But you know what? If you set your goals, I cannot go to the airport and say, I just want to go somewhere. I want to get away. They're going to say, where do you want to go? What day do you want to leave? You got to be specific. You just can't go through life just complaining and whining and just saying, you know what, Lord, I don't want to do this. Well, then set some new goals. Get off that plane and get on another plane. If you don't like the direction of your life, get off that plane and get on another plane. But know that there is a cost. You can't fly for free. Now, guess what? I do accumulate rewards, miles, and sometimes I do get to fly free. But that's because of my experience. It's called grace. Sometimes I do get to get an upgrade, or I get to fly, get a free ticket because I upgraded. And sometimes because I'm willing to let somebody go ahead of me on a flight and they'll say the flight is full. They say, okay, you know what? Since you're willing to wait, we're going to give you a free ticket. Are you willing to let somebody go ahead of you sometimes? Have you signed up and then you realize somebody's going ahead of you and you say, that's okay, go ahead, boo. And you wait for the next flight and then you get a free ticket? It's called grace. But the point I'm trying to make today, for you and for me, is that we have got to learn to trust God. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it's scary. I know that sometimes you don't know how to say no to your children. Can I get a witness? I know that sometimes it's hard to say no when your friends that you think are your friends, but they're manipulating you and they are taking advantage of your friendship. or because they know your weaknesses, or they know your kryptonite, or because they know your story, they take advantage of you. You got to trust that if you have the courage to say no and walk away and let it flush on its own, that God will reward your courage and your faith and your trust in him. Where is your trust? Where is it? You know, when I get in my car, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, dog alert, Joy. There's some dogs. We trust people. I see women who meet somebody, and next thing you know, they're talking about, that's my boo. They don't know nothing about him, but they trust this person. They go to bed with this person, and they share their secrets, and they share their body, and they let their children be exposed to them, and they trust in this person that they hardly know. We meet people, and we trust them, and we let them in our inner core too soon. I get in my car, and I turn the key, and I don't even think about it. I just trust that my car is going to start. I trust the physical things. I sat down today, and I sat down here trusting that it was going to support me. We are challenged to trust what we cannot see. We are challenged. We are challenged to trust the metaphysical. Metaphysical. Meta means beyond the physical eye. You can't see God. You can't see grace. You can't see favor. You can't see the Holy Spirit. You have to trust. You have to have metaphysical faith. You have to go beyond what your physical eye says. Your physical eye may be looking at a low bank account, and you get worried and you stress. You have to trust God, the metaphysical faith that says, I'm going to go beyond what I see with my physical eyes, what I hear with my physical ears. I cannot listen to too much news. It distracts me. It scares me. And so I tune into what God is saying, the metaphysical. What is God saying in my spirit? What is God saying in your spirit? Sometimes you got to turn off the world and listen to God. This is why I've been facilitating retreats for 30 years. So we can get away from the noise and get away from our busyness and our demands, no television, and just commune with each other and commune with God. But we're so used to trusting what we can see. And God says you got to trust what you can't see. Your finances, your health, your children,